Howdy, yoga neighbors. What's going on? It's Phil Russert, Philbo Entertainment Promotions. We're going to do a Q&A today if anybody shows up. There's been a lot of people asking a lot of questions in regards to our distribution and our print-on-demand services. And I figured I'd do a little live stream, answer your questions for you, and whatever I can do to assist you in understanding. We'll wait for some people to get in the room. If they get in the room, a lot of you said not a lot, but I think like 7 or 8 people said they were interested. So hopefully they actually show up and ask some questions. If not, then I'll just do a couple of quick plugs and head on out. But yeah, so we will be starting our print on demand soon. We are currently worldwide distribution. I also have publishing. I do publishing, and my publishing's through crowdfunding and in distribution. We distribute G-Men Comics through Philbo, and we distribute Night from Guido Martinez, who's in Argentina, through distribution. MADCAPS is currently on Kickstarter, but soon will be monthly in distribution. And yeah, so that's about that. We got 4 people in the room. Say hello. Don't be shy. And ask questions if you'd like to ask questions, because that's why we're doing this. Anything pertaining to the industry, distribution, POD, there are no stupid questions at all, so please feel free to ask. Hey, Len, what's going on? How are you? So this is your opportunity to ask whatever questions you want, and I will give you the answer. If I don't have an answer at the moment, or if it's something I cannot answer yet, I will let you know, but then we will, officially announce and release everything at a later time. But please start off with some questions, and let's do it. While I'm waiting. Okay. Charles, I plan to be in distribution soon. Can you give a broad overview of how to get started? Okay. All right. So basically, we are a distribution that is worldwide. We have stores in Japan, Germany, Italy, France, UK, Sweden, Australia, Mexico, Canada, and the United States, across the United States. We have over 600 stores signed up. And we don't, all 600 do not order from us, but we do have a lot of loyal monthly orders that come in, out of the 600. Basically, we just don't, this isn't an ego thing, but we don't have the bandwidth to be auditioning for people. I can't be, reaching out to people and spending a lot of time talking to individuals just to find out that they're not ready for distribution, which has happened a lot. Unfortunately, I've done 30-minute videos, things like that, and to find out that they're just not ready for distribution. And I just don't have the bandwidth to do that, so I apologize. So what we would ask is, if you go to www.philbodistribution.com, the submission guidelines tab will explain to you everything we're asking for to make your submission, do your submission. We do get submissions every day. Unfortunately, some we do turn away, which I'll explain to that. But if you submit to there, I will always get back to you. I try to get back to you quickly. Lately, with the POD starting, I've been very busy. So I've been a little behind on getting to people. So I apologize if you have not heard from me yet. Okay. So right now, we do a 40% discount to the retailers, but with the POD, we are going to do tier pricing. Depending on how much they order, they can be eligible for 40%, 45%, or 50% discount. If you distribute through us and use our POD system, you will still make a profit per book, because we will be giving you basically offset prices at print-on-demand orders. So it could be anywhere from 40, 45, or 50% to retailers. Poster printing, quality of paper, and banners. We're not going to start out with banners, but we will be doing that soon. The print paper, we do, I believe it was 130 pound or something like that. I know it's a little different when it's a poster, but it's very thick paper. At 11 by 17, it would be gloss, and it would be only $1.15 per print for each of you. The 6 by 9 prints would be 62 cents each, which is low. It's very low, with no minimum order. If we want, we will be rolling out a more premium type print for those who want it. But we want to start off with the basics because we want to deliver high quality print on demand, make sure we can handle the volume because we've gotten a lot of interest. And we don't want to bite off more than we could chew because that doesn't help anyone. So our approach is to be smart, methodical, open this up slowly, and grow within our means. That way that, if you're all relying on us, you're getting your print orders on time and high quality. I read the website submission reading Eric's post about his comic. He indicated a monthly schedule. Concerned that I can't keep that. It's bi-monthly, every month, an option. Completed comics. Yes. So I don't like to gatekeep publishers with their frequency because that is your business to run as you see fit. I'm fine with if you do every other month, every 3 months. You could do every 6 months. Whatever you want your frequency to be is fine. I do recommend trying to be in monthly if you can, just because you want to be out there as much as possible for people. But obviously, if you can't meet that deadline, then that would be unrealistic. All I ask is that whatever frequency that you choose, you must adhere to it. You must be on time. Deadline is important. So if you decide to say do every other month, I need to make sure that I'm able to. Currently, we're receiving inventory. If we go to POD, we'd be printing it for you. Some people may have inventory that they want to get rid of before they start printing with us. So either way, whichever option you go, we either need that print file or we need those books on time to meet that frequency. But yes, you can choose whatever frequency makes sense for you. And if you only have a one shot and you want to put a one shot in, that's fine too. If you have a mini series, it's 5 issues. Just you have to be at least 80% complete with that. That was applied for distributing with you. I don't want to disclose the POD prices to the public because that is really just for people who distribute with us. But if you are submitting to the distribution and you meet the criteria and you're going to distribute with us, we will disclose that to you. What I will tell you is right now the public pricing is $2.50 for a 20 interior 4-page and then 4 covers. And we go as low as for a 48-page saddle stitch, I think it's like $3.10 for you. I've posted the prices. If you're in distribution, it will be lower. But I can't disclose that to the public. That's for people who distribute with us. If you are distributing with us, we also and you want to do your Kickstarter fulfillment, we honor the distribution price for you for your fulfillment as well, and we can handle the fulfillment portion of things. If you are the public and you want us to do your Kickstarter, well, then you go by the public pricing. Yes, you would have to get your own barcodes, but anybody who's not sure how to do that, I have the websites and I have a graphic that shows you how it works, and I can assist you with the barcodes. But yes, you would have to have your own barcodes. Just so you know, one title, you only need one UPC code for one title up to 999 issues. And it's $10 for UPC code for a floppy, for a single issue saddle stitch. So say you have 5 titles, you would just have to buy 5 UPC codes. And then for free, you can get the 5-digit extension, which the first 3 numbers tell you what issue it is, because you can go up to 999. Issue 1 would be 001. The 4th number would be what variant cover is it? Is it the first variant, second variant, third, fourth, basically A, B, or C, or D? And the last number is what printing is it? First, second, third, etc. Yeah, that's a misconception because ISBNs, you have to buy a different ISBN for each book, but that's for prose books or large collected perfect bound books. But UPC codes, nope, you only need one code for each title up to 999 issues, which is great because you're only spending $10, where an ISBN could be $300. It's insane. Once in distribution, once you are printing out books, if we all have our files for several books, can we submit them early to you? We would prefer you don't, because that's how mistakes happen and things get lost. To stay organized, we're going to be dealing with a lot of different files and people. So we would ask you just submit at the time you're submitting that book. But because we're going to start with it, we are going to put out a printed catalog as well as the digital. We are going to probably require that print file a month early, or at least we're going to require the data sheet a month early, not the print file. I'm sorry. The data sheet will be a month early, but the print file you would just send at the time that we send you your PO, which is a purchase order, saying that our FOC date has come along. For those who don't know FOC, it's final order cutoff. And once we have a final order cutoff, that does not mean that retailers cannot order that book ever again. It just means that that's the final date they can order to receive it on the release date. After that, it goes to reorder, and then they would just have to reorder it. So basically, we would just need the file by the, once the FOC locks and we send you, you've sold this many books, you would then have to send us the print file so we could go to print right away. Okay. More questions? Throw them at me, guys. I'm here to answer everything. Take notes, please. If I know that some people might come in late and you're not going to go through the chat to see what questions are asked. So if you repeat questions, it's fine. It's not a problem. I understand you're not going to peruse the chat to see what's been asked. I look at comics more like books than periodicals. Could retailers order from you back issues? Yes. We have a data sheet, which if you need explanation on that, I can give you. Every single book we deliver that we distribute, you have the option to let us know if you want it on reorder or if you would rather not. That is a publisher decision, and we will gladly go abide by what you ask. But so far, everyone wants reorders. So, for example, every catalog we've ever launched since last year is still live, and they can go back at any time. So, say, Len, you're on issue 5 of your book, and maybe sales have been okay, but now it's starting to pick up, and people are starting to really notice the book and pay attention. You can direct them to go back to the first catalog that you solicited in and get number 1, get number 2, get number 3, etc. That way they can catch up and get back on it. Digital catalog that has all that. So digital catalog, you'll get a full page for each book that you put in there. But for the physical catalog, we're going to put 4 per page because we have to keep the costs down and obviously the print down. And we're doing saddle stitch. We're not going to do perfect bound, so we can't do like a 500-page catalog right now. But the digital catalog will basically have a picture, the cover. It'll have a sample of the interior. It will have your price point, your MSRP. It'll have a synopsis of the overall story. It'll have a synopsis of that specific issue, the page count, full color, etc. And you can go to the website to see an example of what our catalog looks like. Just keep in mind the physical catalog will have 4 to a page, though. And we go in alphabetical order of publisher, so no one gets favoritism. Once you begin printing, will you have a graphic person to make minor corrections at all? Yes, Charles, great question. So this is what's going to happen. If you send us the files and not correct, we're going to have to send them back to you to correct them. If for whatever reason you don't know how to do that or that's out of your wheelhouse, we do offer at a very low price the option to format your books for you. So say you're paying somebody to already format your book for you. You could really just send us the individual pages that are lettered and completed, and we could format it for you with the bleed and put your barcode on it if you send the graphic to us, and get it ready for print for you, and then send you a digital proof to show you what we've done for approval. Or we could send a physical proof, but you would have to pay for that. Hey, Lorenzo, how are you? I hear you're awesome. I have an LCS email distro list. If distribution, is it possible to know what stores buy from you by targeting market? I do not give you that information because that is my pertinent information, but I do something for you that no other distributor is ever going to do, because no distributor will disclose LCS information. I will give you the list that Diamond put out of all their LCS and contacts for you to facilitate. But I will not give you a list of who we work with and who we order. The real honest reason for that is because people will go behind our backs and bypass us and do that. We put in all the work to get the list, and if we just hand that out willy-nilly, people won't have a reason to use us. That's why. For Eric's listing, so I assume that info is okay. 7 by 10 by 5. Well, that's okay based on them getting their books printed and sending to us right now. But when we're printing books, we're going to be starting out with the regular 6.25 by 10.625, I believe it is, format. His is a little larger, but he's sending us those books. We're on our print on demand. We're going to be using standard comic size for the time being. Very cool, Vic. Great, man. Thank you. Like I said, the 11 by 17s will be a very thick cardstock gloss, and they'll be $1.15 each for 11 by 17, no minimum. And the 6 by 9s will be 62 cents. As far as any other size prints, we will move to that at some point, but right now we're starting with those two. Center versus Kablam then. Yeah, yes, correct. And as far as like how to set up the files with the color and everything, we will have that information to you soon. Once we get the printer on site and we have it up and running and everything's calibrated and everything's good to go, we will be tinkering and making sure we know what we want on this side. And then we will be putting on the website how we want files received so that you know. We will also create a graphic to send out to everyone. So you'll be fully informed on how the files need to be set up for us. So it's a great question, Len. Like I said at the top of the thing, we have over 600 stores signed up. We have a third of that ordering regularly. Some of them order based on what books look interesting. So we have interest. Are we at top notch like Lunar level? No, we are not. But with the print on demand and being able to offer higher tier levels, that interest will grow. And of course, if we start pulling on, and no disrespect to the small press, I'm one of you, but if we pull on some of the larger publishers that would attract more retailers, it'll help. But what I will say is the POD is going to be able to allow us to offer returns to stores and up to 50% discount. So I think that will increase even more. As of now, though, we have grown anywhere between 16 and 20% each month. We had a stall after the holidays at the beginning of the year. January, February were kind of slow, and we picked up again. So we have had steady growth. Hey, Phil, looking forward to this. How should comics be dated on the cover? Should I leave the date off? That is really optional for you, but basically, if you were going to date it, you would want to date it based on the release date, which would be provided to you. You know, we would let you know what the schedule is when you, if you come on board with distribution. So you probably want to date it based on the release date, you know, the month of the release. So like if you have books releasing this month, May 15th, we have books releasing, you would just put May 26, 2026 on it. You wouldn't put the day, but you'd put the month and year. If you want, you can put it on the inside book, on the inside front cover where you put that little copyright blurb and everything as well. And that's a great question, man. Nobody's asked that before. I love that. Awesome. Date is not necessary, but you can if you'd like. No, they don't. I will say this. I'm very proud of this, and this is not me trashing on anyone, but we had free comic book day books, and one of them was the Sumerian from Ablaze. And I found out yesterday that we were the only distributor that got those books out on time. And I'm very proud of that, which tells you we may be small, but we're reliable. We care. It was important for those free comic books to be out there to those retailers. That's a big event for them to bring in revenue. and we didn't want to fail them. And again, I don't mean that as a slam dunk on anyone by any means. I'm just proud that we were the one distributor that delivered those free comic books. And I hope that that gets recognized and noticed with retailers to say, all right, we can count on Phil. Innovations Press Corner Box, because I noticed that Eric's has Philbo. Eric's has Philbo because they decided they wanted me to publish their book for distribution. Your company has its own corner box. Unless you signed on to be published through me, your Lenovations is yours. You keep that. Distribution, you maintain your own publishing rights and your publishing company. G-Men Comics and all that, they just decided they wanted to, for me to publish them on the distribution side of things. I don't publish them through crowdfunding, but only through distribution. It's basically a cost thing for them to not have to manage the print run. I love it. Keep the questions coming. Think of them. Write down everything we're talking about. If you repeat a question or you missed an answer, don't feel bad. Ask again. Go for it. I'm happy to answer. Again, I unfortunately don't have the bandwidth to give so much individual attention anymore. In the beginning, it was one thing, but I'm inundated every day with hundreds of emails from publisher submissions, artist portfolios, retailers asking questions. And, you know, it's easier for me to do something like this and get out to as many people as possible and answer questions than the individual reach out, because it's too much for one man to do. I do have my partner, Maura, who does so much as well, but she's busy getting the catalogs together, the website updated, and we will be moving to a new website that's much better. Filling out your form, inundated. Len, I'm happy. How do I put this? We get a lot of people that don't understand the industry, but they're anxious and excited to get their books out there, which I love and appreciate. But they don't ask questions. They make assumptions or they go in blind. And that's when problems arise for us. That's when it gets complicated for us. So I'm very happy when people ask a lot of questions, because the more you know, the better you're going to be at it, the more you're going to get it right, and the less it's going to cause friction or problems for us. So there you go. After a bit of time, would you record the top sellers? That's a great question too, Brian. I'm definitely looking into doing that. I don't want to provide data right now because it's so up and down being small publishers. Like, we have publishers that do sell very well. You know, Zenoscope, of course, sells well. Dren Productions sells very well. AC Comics sells very well. And then we have guys that aren't selling as well. And I feel that could be a detriment to the small press people that maybe their numbers aren't up, because then people get this notion that they're not worth ordering. And I get concerned about throwing those numbers out prematurely right now. When things really get rocking and rolling and we're moving, and I feel it'll be more of a help to small press, then yeah, I think we're going to try to do data collection and get those sales numbers out. Absolutely. And we do want to start our own quote unquote wizard type magazine that will be entertaining and interactive. And we do want to include those numbers and a little bit of data as well. No disrespect to anyone, but I don't like seeing these top seller lists and the influencer stuff, because to me, it's either subjective or you're being paid to say that. I want to go by solid data. This is what's selling the most based on the numbers, etc. That's really the best way to do those things. So that's a fantastic question. And that's something we'll look to in the future. Thanks for asking that. Hey, Gregory, what's going on? Every day that the sun shines on my face and I can get up is a good day. All right. We're getting some great questions, some new questions here. So throw them at me, man. Keep coming. We will be offering fulfillment services for your Kickstarters as well, if you have questions based on that. You do not have to distribute through us to do your Kickstarter fulfillment, but if you want the best prices, then we'd want you to do both, distribute through us and do your campaigns through us. And no, it doesn't have to be just Kickstarter, but I just use it as an example because that's the largest one. Can you send out the link for the UPC codes at some point? Do you have any email group going for stuff like this? I have an email group of the distributors, but if you want, just DM me after the show and I'll send it to you. I'll send you the links and I'll send you a graphic that explains what the barcodes are and how it works. I'm happy to help you and walk you through that. Not a problem. Just if you can, DM me to remind me. If we're not friends and for whatever reason it doesn't show up, just nudge Gmail Comics to tell me that you're trying to reach me or something, or I'll send it to them to send to you. I have, I mean, I could always start. I mean, I could do what I could do is I could probably get an email list together. If people want to send me emails, and I could do blasts. But if you want, just DM me for now. That'd be easier. After a bit of time, would you record the? Okay, he said that. So what else do you guys want to know? There's the distribution side of things. There's the print on demand side of things. There's my publishing side of things. There's the crowdfunding side of things. I'm creating my own little ecosystem here. I've just been looking at the industry I love for so long, and I don't critique it out of disdain. I critique it out of love. I want to see it strengthened and getting better again. And I feel like, unfortunately, there's been a lot of misguidance going on, and we're worshiping and listening to some of the wrong people, and things have just gone kind of, sorry, the sun's blaring in my face, backwards in a lot of ways. Not in all ways. Collectors are doing a wonderful job of keeping the industry going, but I'd like to see readers coming back, and I'd like to see, you know, good stories and a diversity of stories and ideas. And, you know, Western comics unfortunately play it safe. You know, they don't want to go outside the box, kind of like manga does and indie does, and that's what I love. And printing stuff for shows too, not Kickstarter. Would there be an opportunity to jump in on print runs? Yes. So if you're not with distribution, you just place your print order on the website as you would any printer. You pay for shipping, we ship to you. If you are distributing through us and say it's the same book that you're distributing and you want extras for shows, you're going to send us the file so that we can print up the books based on the orders, and you're going to put in a separate order for the extra books you want. Those extra books will be at the same price as the distribution. So you're going to get the offset printing prices still. You just have to pay for the shipping from us to you. Unless it's a show that I'm going to be at, I'm happy to bring them and save you the shipping. Like if you're going to New York Comic Con, I'm always there. I could bring them for you. That would, you know, we could work something like that out. I'm always looking to save you money, especially like shipping doesn't make me any money. So why would I, you know, if I could save you that money and I'm going to meet you somewhere, that'd be fine. If you're not distributing through us, you'd just be paying those public prices for your prints, and go from there. So if someone wanted to, they could hit you up for all of it, publishing. Yes. What I will tell you is with the publishing, that I'm a lot more strict and gatekeeping, because I have to know that I can make money off of that. The reason is I'm now covering the print run and all the expenses of that. But as a publisher, I do not ask for any percentage of rights to your IP. You would keep the rights. I would just be charging a fee to publish you. But what I will say is, if I'm to be honest, with my system of distribution and POD, it really empowers everyone to be their own publisher. You don't need me. You don't need to pay me a publishing percentage, because you usually just need publishers to get into distribution. And you could get into, if you can get into distribution on your own merit, you don't need me to publish you. What do you think is the most exciting book coming out this month? Are you talking about in mainstream comics or in the indie scene? Because I'm going to biasly say tragedy. Tragedy 8 coming out this month with the Bachalo cover. I'm definitely going to you for printing distribution on the comic adaptation of my animated series. What's up, Elston? Christopher Elston. Yeah. I just want to reiterate this to everyone while you're formulating your questions. We understand that we are coming out new as print on demand. We understand that we're the small distributor with the small press, and we have we're doing very well, to be honest with you, better than I really thought we'd be doing, but we have ground to cover. I will never lie or fluff or try to pretend I'm more than I am, because that doesn't benefit anyone. What I'm going to tell you is we are growing. The POD is definitely going to make this much more interesting. And we are keeping our prices low through keeping my overhead expenses down. It is a challenge, and we are doing the best we can to help you succeed as small publishers. And we want retailers to win too. We're stuck at 40% discount right now because the print runs are so high for you guys that unless they buy a large number of books, and they're not, like, one store is not going to buy 28 or 800 copies of an independent book. It's just not going to happen, and we understand that. So unfortunately, the best we can do is 40% right now, which is actually better than Lunar's lowest tier, which is 35%. But this will allow us to give a 50% discount to stores so that they can make more of a profit. We want stores to win. We're allies to you. I'm bridging the gap between publishers and retailers, and I was trying to find a way that I could do that where you both win, because one of you was going to suffer either way based on the current model that this industry has put forth. For those who don't know, again, this is not a knock. It's just the facts. If you're a small publisher, and let's be clear, most people are not doing high numbers anymore. Like, even if you're a Zenoscope, maybe you're doing 10,000 books. I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 books. But even then, that's not a lot if you think about it. Now, you've got a book. It's a $4.99 MSRP. The store is asking for a 50% discount. You are automatically taking $2.48 off of that. You're left with $2.48. Now, out of that $2.48 comes the distributor's 10%. And sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's 12%, 15%. Okay? So I don't know what the math is, but 10% would be, what is that, 24 cents? Whatever, I don't know. So you're getting down closer to $2 or whatever the case may be. And then your print costs, you go, now either you do print on demand because you don't want to have a lot of inventory to sit on. You're paying anywhere from $3.80 to $4.10 a book. You're losing $1 a book. So how can you do that? You can't. Now, say you do offset printing. I go over to China. I'm getting 60 or 70 cents a book. Okay. But now China, if you go by boat, your books are going to be late. You're never going to meet your deadline for distribution. So that hurts a lot of people. And you're still paying probably about $600 to $800 in shipping. So add that money onto your order, and you're probably adding up to $1 per book there. So your print cost is now at $1.60 basically. If you fly it over to get it on time, you're paying almost $1,000. So now you're probably paying, now your $1.60 is probably close to $2 a book that you're paying there. And you might walk away with 20, 30 cents on the book. But you have variant covers. And when you do offset printing, it's not a digital press. They have to do plate changes. So they're going to charge you $250 for each cover change, right? Your small press. Maybe you only sold 500 books, 200 of one cover, 300 one cover. Now you're in the negative. Now you're in the red. You're losing money because of those cover changes. And offset printing doesn't make sense for you anymore. Then you're risking damages from overseas. And time to get here. More people handling a book. Maybe it gets stuck in customs. Well, with me, you're going to pay a low offset cost on a digital printer, no cover, no plate changing, so there's no difference in no charge for cover changes, no shipping charges to add, and my distribution fee is worked into the print cost when I give it to you. And it's low. It's low. So you are going to walk away with anywhere from 50 cents to $1, most likely on any book you sell based on whatever tier the retailer fits into. And the retailers are going to be offered returns. They'll have the opportunity to give back some books if they don't sell after 30 days. And I can always answer a question if you want to know what I do with those books. Setting the price for these comics, do you mandate? I do not mandate. Diamond would do that. I do not. Standard right now is $4.99, although a lot of Marvel DC books are going up, like the Superman, Spider-Man. I think they're like $6.99. $4.99 is usually the sweet spot. We have some people that do $3.99 to take a loss, but they just want to get out there. We have some people that do $5.99 so they can make some sort of profit. I do not gatekeep you on what your MSRP is. Just understand you want to get readers in. The higher the price on that cover, the lower you're likely to get a reader. Now, you may get retailers to buy your book thinking, oh, good, I can get a higher markup on a $5.99 book. But then that book might sit on their shelf because the consumer doesn't want to spend $5.99 on a book. You know, you have to think at the final sale at the end of the day, and that's the consumer. And that's the bottom line for everybody. Hi, Simon. How are you? Angel Manuel Lopez Fernandez, artist extraordinaire. What's going on? Any other questions? Questions regarding distribution, publishing, print on demand, shipping. By the way, shipping has gone up 8% again. And as you know, they constantly go up. And even if they go down right before the holidays, they're going to go up again. Shipping is very erratic. You never know, and you can't calculate the cost of shipping at any given time because you could have printed up books and literally the increase hits the day that you are, they're looking to ship out from your China printer. It's so erratic and it's such a gamble. It's hurting a lot of people. And I will say, I don't know who's watching, but if you're a Dynamite Comics who's, they're really making waves in the industry, good for them, or Mad Cave, you must be spending tens of thousands of dollars in shipping, if not more, when you're doing, 60,000 books. I can save you that money and you would still get a low print cost. I can save you that money. That's all money profit for you, and less risk of damages, less people holding that book, less time stuck. It'll make sure your books are guaranteed to be on time. So I really consider that if I were those publishers. And if you're a publisher like Titan's in the UK, how hard is it for them to get to the American market and not lose their pants? Well, now they have an option. Now they can get to the American market and not pay that shipping price. Like in the UK, I was told by someone there, it's like they pay like $1.60 a book to print. But by the time they pay shipping into each book, it could be upwards of $3.43. You've now lost money in the American market. But with me, they're going to save a lot of that money. A lot of that money. And they're going to make a profit and get in the American market. Yes, we have stores in Japan, Italy, UK, Germany, France, Sweden, Canada, Australia, Mexico, and across the United States. There is no minimum to print with us. We are not going to ask you to do a minimum. Now, you may think that's crazy. You know why I'm not going to do that? How many of you did a Kickstarter and only one backer ordered your book? And now you have to go to another printer who has a 25 minimum, and just to get that one cover, you have to now invest the money into 25 books. You lost money because now you spent money on 25 books when you only needed for one. Or you're in distribution, you solicit 5 books, and again, maybe only one store ordered 5 of that one cover, and I'm going to force you to buy 25. No, it's okay. I don't have to do plate changes, so it's not a big deal for me to just use the other file with the other cover. I'm not looking to milk everybody. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be able to afford a comfortable life, and you all win. That's all. We do not require minimum orders for retailers. Again, because we are a small press, I do not want to pinch them the same way I wouldn't want to pinch you on minimum orders for printing. They can order as little as 1 book and sample size it, or as 5. And that seems to be working, because I've had people order 1 book of something, and then they reordered the number 1, and then they started ordering number 2 and 3 more, and they ordered like 4 or 5 copies. I want retailers to be able to feel confident they can test the market, they can test the book, see how it sells. If they only want to buy 3, etc. I don't like to pigeonhole people or mandate people. It's very hard for you to run your business if I'm forcing you into those things. Now, some people would say that's a stupid business model. Maybe, maybe not. Cultivating and building healthy relationships means you're working with people long term. I'm a long-term person. I'm not thinking about just this round. I'm thinking about, how am I going to get to round 12? What's my strategy? What gets me there? It's a marathon, not a race. And I want to build healthy, honest, strong, integral relationships with retailers, publishers, and the fans. For the same reason I want readers to come back to Tragedy every month than just collecting covers. Although I love that they collect covers too. Thank you. But the person who comes and reads my book and enjoys it and feels I'm giving them quality will be back every month. This is a way for me to get into stores, which I have struggled with for over a decade. I see this as a great opportunity, so thanks for taking this leap. And that's the thing, Len. I get it. I'm a small publisher doing this as well. I have my own books in my distribution. So I'm in the trenches with you. I understood and understand the pitfalls that you face as a small publisher. I understand the stigma of being back of the catalog, not even getting a chance by Diamond or Lunar. And if you do, you still get buried in the back of the catalog unless you spend $1,000 or $1,500 to get an ad. I get it. Shipping costs, etc. Hey, Chance, what is going on? Chance, I sold out of your cover again. That cover just goes, man. I cannot thank you enough, my friend. It is just such a popular cover. So yeah, I believe if everybody is successful, even modestly, it just makes a healthier industry. I don't believe in the threat of competition. I believe in the health of competition, because Tragedy, my book Tragedy's success is not dependent on how well Len's books sell. If Len's doing great, fantastic. If I'm not, there's a reason for it. And maybe I should look at what Len's doing and figure it out. You can learn from those doing better than you. Don't hate on them. Don't try to squash them. That's a waste of energy. Learn from them, grow. Don't be jealous and petty. Be a student of the industry, student of who's doing it right and why. I believe that. And I believe in the free market. And I believe the fans at the end of the day will tell you what's good and what's bad. And that's the people who should tell you. Free Comic Book Day, I'm going to be honest with you. I was shocked in a very positive way. I was scheduled to be there at 1. When I came in at 1 o'clock, I had a small hand truck with some stuff. I'm trying to get my book set up, and there was a line of people. I thought they were there for the people before me. They were there for me. Me. Who the hell am I? There was a line of people that waited an hour for me to show up, to sign books and to buy books. And they were all telling me how they loved Tragedy. It was so well written, and it is so good. And that store has at least 6 to 8 people with my book on their pull list. And It was very humbling. It didn't go to my head at all. It was humbling. It was kind of out of body experience. I was kind of like, really, me? Um, but I was very grateful, and I signed a lot of books. The store came up to me and said, "We have a customer that couldn't make it today, and they were pissed. They had to work. These are all the books that they bought. They bought every single issue and the variants. They go, they love the book, they love the covers, and they wanted to know how much I would charge to sign." So I'm not going to charge him anything. He's buying all my books. So I'm not charging him anything. So I signed all the books and I put them back in the bags and boards and gave them to the store so that when he comes back, he can pick them up. I'm grateful for that. I mean, that's a dream come true for me because I'm like Len. I'm like you guys. I'm just trying to make my way in this industry, get a little respect, and get some people to notice my books, you know. And I've met a small modicum of success, gratefully. You know, I've had big names endorse my books, saying they're well written, like Chuck Dixon, Peter David, rest his soul, Howard Mackey. I work with pros like Chance Wolfe and Will Spatasio and Chris Picciolo and Alex Sinclair, and I'm grateful. I mean, I grew up loving comics off of spinner racks, and I'm like that struggling actor who's getting to work with Morgan Freeman and Tom Cruise, and they're telling me you're doing good, kid. You know, I mean, that means a lot. It's up because I know the struggle. Some days you feel like you're on top of the world, things are going well, and the next minute you can feel like, why am I wasting my time? This is such a struggle and such a waste of time. It's so hard, and I know how defeating that is. And the system is built in a way that until you reach a certain level, you are kind of pigeonholed into obscurity. And I saw that as an issue, but it's an issue for everyone because it's not just keeping a guy like Len or myself down, it's keeping innovation down. And there's a pun, right? It's Lenovations. It's keeping fresh new ideas out of the industry. Right now, we're in a time where everything is an homage, everything's recycled, everything is a regurgitated story. Everything is just taking the same characters and putting them in a different universe so you don't have to follow continuity. Not knocking any of that, but nothing's new. And that's why manga does very well. When I did a lot of research, and my research was talking to fans. I literally would go to stores like Newberry Comics and everything that have huge manga sections. I would stay there all day and talk to the fans. Probably look like a creeper, but anyway. Talking to the fans and ask them, what is it you love about manga? Why do you love this? So a lot of them said they like the collected volume and, and they can get one story in full, but that wasn't a deal breaker for most of them. A lot of people do love coming back every month for stories. Believe it or not, that's a myth. You're listening to the wrong people. Monthlies are great for retailers, and people do want them. They just want good monthlies. The main reason I got from manga readers was that the stories were character driven and characters you can relate to and issues you can relate to. And they thought outside the box. They did crazy stuff. I mean, you can make a chef into some story. You could even take something like One Piece, which people with superpowers and pirates, and you mix it together, but they do it in such an innovative way that it seems different and new and people love it. Well, that's what indie is doing. We're not beholden to shareholders, and we're not held down by market share interest, etc. We're just writing good stories we love. And that's where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spawned, right? A love of difference. I mean, imagine in the 80s, 4 mutant turtle ninjas that eat pizza and say cowabunga. Like, if that came out today, I wonder how it would be received. Maybe he'd be struggling like maybe Peter and oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Peter Laird and why I have no sleep. I do 3 hours of sleep a night. I'm so sorry. And meanwhile, I've interviewed him a million times, and I'm very friendly with him. Don't know any. Wow. Sorry, I'm losing it. But anyway, maybe yes, Kevin Eastman. Thank you. I don't know why I went blank. Jesus, sorry, Kevin. Maybe that they would be struggling like we would. Billy Tucci with She. maybe he'd be struggling right now like we would. It's different times. But the point is, those were different stories, and people loved them and clamored for them because they were different. They were exciting. I mean, look at Nexus, sci-fi, superhero, Mike Barron, Steve Rude, great book. The Badger. I mean, was he like the first superhero that had mental illness? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's great that those guys broke through in the toughest time to be indie, but that just shows you Concrete. Remember Concrete? It just shows you that if given a chance, independent books can give you some really original, great stuff that people will love, readers will come back for. You got Strangers in Paradise by Terry Moore, which we distribute right now. He will be going with Dark Horse, which doesn't distribute with us, so we will be losing him, unfortunately, come October. But right now, Terry Moore's omnibus for Strangers in Paradise, Echo, and his other books, they're on a 70% off fire sale right now through our distribution. So tell your local retailer if you want it. Yes, Cerebus by Dave Sim. Exactly. I mean, you can name some great independent books. I just did, and you're naming more. AC Comics has been in the industry since the 80s. They were like the 7th or 8th account with Diamond. They distribute with us, and they sell very well. They have a strong fan base with their FemForce and the other books that they do on Cauldron of Horror. And that's the point, right? I think people are hungry for something new, but the industry keeps telling them what they want, telling them what they like. And I think influencers get paid under the table. I don't know that. I don't have proof of that. It's an opinion only. But why are they telling you what's hot and what's great and then ignoring everything else? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why don't the fans decide? Introduce a lot of different things to them. Stop gatekeeping everything. I don't want that. I want free enterprise. I want open market. I want the fans to tell you, yeah, this book is solid, I want more of it, or no, it's just not good enough. And if it's not good enough, at least you gave it a try and you can move on as a publisher. But how many of us are sitting there going, I really think this is a good book that'll catch fire, but I don't have enough people seeing it. I feel that way about Tragedy. I feel that way about my books. Every book that I've ever written, every time people read it, they say wonderful things about it. I'm not saying that they are. Industry writers, legends, like I said, Chuck Dixon, Peter David, the late Peter David, and Howard Mackey say good things about my Tragedy and my other books, but not enough people have seen it. So it's frustrating for me to say, well, can I at least just get a solid chance? And if I get a solid chance and it's just not good enough, I'm okay about that. I'm okay. I can live with that. I just wasn't good enough. I got in the ring, I duked it out, and the guy won. I can shake his hand and move on, say, you were the better man. God bless you. Congratulations on your win. But I know I gave it my best, and I can walk out of the ring head held high. But the industry is geared to where they're saying you can't even get in the freaking ring. I'm not doing that. So I created my own ecosystem, and this POD is going to help a lot of people. It is. And I do want to help a lot of people, but I can only help those who want to help themselves. Remember that. You got to market. You got to bust your ass. It's the same way, just because you're on Kickstarter doesn't mean you're going to meet your goal. You have to promote that Kickstarter. Same with distribution. I'm just another channel. Max Burger PI. Yes. You guys should go check that out. Did you launch it yet? Is it live? I know you were having some technical difficulties. But you never know, man. You never know what indie is going to really be that next thing that you love. Here's a story. I was at a local comic shop, Fourth World Comics, who, make no mistake, is the greatest store. It's fantastic. They support indie. They're kind, good people, staff that's been there for decades. And it's so busy. My God, I'm just going to tell you now, their free comic book day event is more successful for me than most one-day shows that I've ever done. They are so busy, and the people are so inclined to buy new things and independence and stuff. And it's because the store supports that, and they make a lot of money before that. And Huracan, yes, wonderful show coming up. Drop your info, David. This Saturday and I will be there if you want to come see me. I have a lot of inventory that got wiped out yesterday, but I will have some left. Come see Huracan. It's a wonderful show. It is for the benefit of the church and the church's people. And it is, I think, $5 to get in. And then you got wonderful vendors, artists, small publishers. Come hang out for the afternoon. It is in East Rockaway. That is East Rockaway, so it's Nassau County. Come check it out this Saturday. Sorry about the pre-launch issues with your Kickstarter. I hope it gets started soon. If it does, tag me, let me know. I'll help you get it out there. But yeah, so I'm creating my own ecosystem because I don't like to be told that I can't do something. I've always been that stubborn. Bethany Congregational Church, 100 Main Street, East Rockaway. It's in the chat. That's where you're going for Huracan. You can come see me and a bunch of other people. David, if you want to list, it's from 10 to 4, $5 donation at the door. Kids in custom get them free. I don't know what custom means. Kids in costume, is that it? I don't know. Anyway, and feel free to tell us some of the guests. So who will be there, David? Put it in the chat. Any other questions, guys? I've gone on a little while, but we haven't had any questions. Give me some questions about fulfillment, about distribution to stores, whatever. Just please remember, I do not have the time or the bandwidth to have people soliciting me, hey, I want to go through distribution. What do I got to do? I can't. It's too much. The same way you would with Lunar or Diamond, you have to go to the website and submit the proper way, and I will get back to you. Because honestly, I don't have the time to find out that maybe you're not ready for distribution. There are things criteria you have to meet. It's not a given. You're just going to go through my distribution. You have to meet criteria. It's not a lot of criteria, but it's common sense criteria. Your guidelines say complete product information sheets for each title. See sample at end. Didn't see that on the website. Okay, so that's a great question. That is the data sheet. Every distributor has a data sheet, basically. And what that data sheet is, it's all the information on the book that you're soliciting in the catalog. Why that is the most important thing for you to fill out correctly is because not only is that what's going to be uploaded to our system and be on our website, and everything you put in there, mistakes and all, is what's going to go on the catalog, but retailers cannot manually and individually input every single book every week and every month on their website. That is insane. They cannot do that. So this data sheet allows them one upload onto their point of sale system of all the books that are being solicited. So that information needs to be on time, and it needs to be 100% accurate. It will include a file of the cover, the MSRP price, the page count, the genre, the title, the credits, who's the creative team, the artist, writer, etc. A synopsis of the series as a whole, keep it a short log line, and a synopsis of that specific issue. And then of course we will give a sample interior, which we will need the file of the sample page. So that data sheet, if you don't worry about that when you submit, you're submitting the other things we asked for. When we'll respond to you either with a declination, and I can explain what would cause a declination. It's very rare that I decline, or an acceptance. When you get the acceptance, at that point, when you get the onboarding email, you will receive a digital guidebook we need you to sign, contact info sheet, and your data sheet. And those will be completed and turned into Maura and myself, and we would get you in the catalog at the point that you're ready. Another 20 pages. No, again, as a publisher, you have the right to do that. Just keep in mind, consistency is important, but I know that sometimes maybe you started a book as a graphic novel at 48 pages, and stopping at 24 might have been a bad break. It doesn't do well for the story, so your page count might change. That's fine. Just to have to be honest, and say what the page count is in the catalog. And it's up to you if you want to lower the price for that lesser, or you want to keep the price at the same. Industry question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of dipshits are the wheel? You know, Riddler 6358. Stop trying to get me in trouble. You did enough of that. And you are still, your likeness is still in tragedy, and you make your debut in the issue that we're about to solicit in the campaign. So in the catalog. So who knows? Maybe we could be friends again on Facebook if you don't go freaking batshit crazy again. Anyway, but I will not address that. Those people, I won't do that. But anyway, any other questions for submissions, for how the system works? What would you be rejected for? Do you want to know what I would possibly reject you for? Because I hate rejecting people. I mean, I really freaking hate it. I will sit there and deliberate. Man, I really want to help this person. I want to give them a shot, but it's tough. Okay. These are the criteria you must meet. You must have your barcodes. You must meet your deadlines, whatever you decide. You must fill out those data sheets. If you have NSFW, not safe for work, which is nude covers, all we ask is that you black bag them or put stickers on them. I can show you an example. I have here of someone who does those covers, and they have these stickers of hot red peppers that say spicy, and they just put them over the parts. They bag and board them, and they put them over the parts on the book. I don't want my kids or anybody else's kids coming in to get Spider-Man and that cover sitting on the shelf next to them. And I think it hurts readership as a whole if a parent thinks that that's what indie is, and they don't want their kids going into stores anymore because there's all new books on there. So we just ask that you cover them up, black bag them, or put the stickers and cover them up. There's one other criteria that rarely isn't met, and sometimes, unfortunately, I get submissions for it, and I feel really bad. I will not decline anyone based on art style, because art styles are subjective. Mike Mignola is a well-beloved and respected artist in this industry, and maybe people don't like the fact that he draws with no shoulders, you know, or the abstract style of Bill Sienkiewicz, who's a legend in this industry. Maybe there are people that don't like tight lines like Mark Silvestri and David Finch. I love all different styles of art. It's very subjective. So you will never get turned down based on art style, but I will turn you down on sequential storytelling. If your sequential storytelling is not on par with a professional level that is on shelves in stores, I have to turn you down. It's unfortunate. If your logo or your branding looks like amateurish, it doesn't look like a professional's done it, I have to turn it down. I'm sorry. Because not only are you not going to get any sales, and I'm spending money and time and labor to get you on our system, get you in the catalog for no return. But I hate to say this, but there is a certain level, a modicum of professionalism that we have to maintain. And I don't mean that to be cruel. I had to turn somebody down recently. Their artwork was a little raw, a little rough. It was black and white on one, it was color on the other. And, it, you know, but that isn't why I turned them down. The sequential storytelling just wasn't at a professional level yet. And what I say is, when I reject someone for that reason, you are not rejected forever. It's, I can't do it now, but keep working, keep getting better at it, and come back to us. And we want to say yes. I want to say yes. I really hate when I get submissions from somebody who's eager and excited, and you can tell they love what they're doing, and I respect and appreciate that. But the sequential artwork just isn't on a professional level yet. It's about storytelling, guys. You have to, like, we have some books that maybe the artwork, you're like, but the storytelling is there, the sequential work is there, and the writing is there. The other thing is the writing. If I'm reading this book and it's unfortunately very novice level, I can't, again, because it's not going to sell. You're just going to be disappointed and discouraged it's not selling, and then I'm spending time and money to put a book out there that there's no return on. I want to help everyone, but I still have to keep my business afloat. I will not accept AI. I've turned away every AI. And just for I'm glad you brought that up, Brian, with the great questions. For the record, I don't care if we don't even suspect it of AI. Every single book goes through 2 AI detectors, because some people enhance work with AI, and we won't accept that. If you enhance with Photoshop, we will not reject you. But if you enhance with AI, or if you use AI, or if we detect AI writing, we will not accept you. We do not support or promote AI on a creative level, on any level. And you will not be in our catalog. You will not. I know a lot of people use AI because of budget restraints, etc. And I understand it's not even about how it takes away a job from an artist. I don't like that either, but it's theft. AI is pulling from people's artwork off the internet, and it's amalgamating it together. So it may be taking some of this artist, that artist, and artist, and putting it together, and those artists are not getting credit or paid for that work. It's theft. And you cannot copyright it by law, therefore you can't own it by law, therefore why the hell should you be supported in doing it? I don't attack people who do AI. I don't go after them. I see a lot of people on the posts. I'm not going to do that. Let the free market decide what they want, but I am not going to support it. And we run it through 2 detectors, always. And we have caught some people that have enhanced. We had someone last month submit a book, and I questioned myself before we even went. I was like, "This something doesn't look right." We put it through the detector, and the first detector said enhanced by AI. The second one said it's like 90% AI. We won't entertain that. Never. We support creative thinking, creative minds, creative hearts, and all the work that goes into becoming a good writer and a good artist. It's hours and hours of work. It is time. I would rather take that person I mentioned before that the sequential storytelling isn't on in a heartbeat over any AI that looks fantastic, so to speak, because at least that person is genuine and real and they're doing their best to tell a story. So no, AI is not accepted ever. And we stand firm on that. And that includes anybody I publish. Anything associated with Philbo Entertainment Promotions will never be AI. And if you somehow find that it's AI, it either got past us or it's mistaken for AI, but we will never do that. We had a contest cover person who uses Photoshop. I know this person well. I know them well. They show me their process, and we run through the engines all the time. They are not AI, but they get accused of being AI, and they get upset about it, and I get it. But no, if you see them associated with Philbo, it's guaranteed that they are not AI, or at the very least, they were really tricky on getting it past us. Any other questions? And then I'll wrap this up. Anything? Anybody? I am going to remind you and just plug this real quick. It actually, I sold and gave away a lot the other day, yesterday, but it wasn't even you I was talking about, but that is correct. Jin has his Phantom Blade Productions, and he was accused of AI. And I can attest that he is not AI at all. Not only has he shown his process, but he's been run through the engines. And I don't run them through the engines because I didn't believe him when he told me per se, because I do know him. I ran it so I can testify for him that his book is not AI. There is Photoshop enhancement, but there is no AI. But he wasn't even who I was talking about, but absolutely. So I want to tell somebody this, everybody, please do not bail out on me at the moment. I gave you my time for questions, so I'm asking you to give me your time for just a moment. I won't go on about this. Poppa was a graphic novel, 110 graphic novel I wrote. It was not about my father, but I realized it was inspired by my relationship with my father, which was very tumultuous growing up. How I realized that was my father read the script and he didn't like comics at the time. He was a very tough man. And he was like, is this about us? I go, well, I didn't think so. He goes, well, I love this. Will I be able to see this book in print before I die? Because my father got diagnosed with cancer. So I tried to hurry up and get the book, but I couldn't get enough money for a 110-page graphic novel. It's $15,000 because I try to pay artists fairly. My father died and never got the book out. So I'm releasing it chapter by chapter to honor my word that I will get it out for him. It's in honor of my dad. It is not about my dad. And basically, chapter 2 is coming out May 28th, and it is about a 75-year-old Vietnam vet who is very close to his granddaughter, but is estranged with his son, and he lives with them. And the son's not a bad man, but he resents his father for a lot of things because he doesn't understand the sacrifices his father quietly made. And a lot of men do that. We make our sacrifice for our family, and we don't get our flowers. You know, we don't get dinner for Father's Day. We get to barbecue our own meal, and usually we're fine with it. You know, we just go to work, and no matter how much we hate our job, we go to work, we come home, we answer the toy phone for our little kids. That's what fathers do. We may not have the bond that mothers have based on not having birthed children, but that's what we do. We provide, we protect, and we're there. We're reliable. We're that rock for our family. And it goes unnoticed. It goes quiet. And we just do it because we're proud to do it. It's what makes us men. So that's part of what this is about. But they're at a cafe, an outdoor cafe, him and his granddaughter, and the Yakuza take a hit on the Italian mafia, not knowing that there was an Italian mob boss sitting in the cafeteria behind them. Long story short, they get caught between the mafias, and the Italian mafia kidnap his granddaughter. And this 75-year-old Vietnam vet has to protect his family while, you know, not being a murderer. He's not going to kill people. He's not the Punisher. But there is a twist in this book that no one has seen coming, even Chuck Dixon. And Chuck Dixon, who is one of the greatest writers, in my opinion, of all time in comic books, along with Peter David, Chris Claremont, said that the dialogue was so real and well written, and it was such a good story, and that he did not see that ending coming. At the end of issue 1, there's a surprise ending you won't see coming. If you sign up right now, we have 100 followers. You hit notify me at launch. You just put in your email. You DM me. I will send you issue 1 as a PDF for free to read it. Why? Because I think it deserves to be free? No. Because I'm so confident that you will love this story that if you get a sample of it, you will want to buy number 2. I am so confident in that. I am so confident in everything I write. That is it the best writing in the world? I won't say that, but I think you'll enjoy it. That if you just give it a chance, you'll be surprised how much you really like it. So I'm going to ask anybody right now who has not signed up for Poppa Chapter 2, please sign up. DM me. You will get the free PDF immediately. And let me know what you think. And if you don't like it, you're not obligated to back Chapter 2. But if you like it and you really want to see what's going on, I ask you to support. My father passed away. 5 weeks before he died, he was bench pressing 165 pounds a day at 77 years old. My father was a beast. He was a very scary, strong man. He was on 4 liters of oxygen. He was no, he wasn't. He was in the ICU, so he wasn't on a ventilator. He was like 5 liters of oxygen. 3 days before he died, he was acting normal because he didn't want to see me. He didn't want me to see him weak. So this book is a testimony to every strong man out there that is struggling with confidence or depression or a job he hates or a relationship that he's struggling with, maybe with a son or daughter that doesn't understand and they blame him for everything, or a wife or whoever, or a husband, whatever. It's for every man that just keeps grinding and keeps fighting every day. And it's for every man that would do anything to protect his family. And I really think it's my best writing. And it's heartfelt. But I'm not going to keep telling you that. I'm going to ask you to give it a try. Hit notify me a launch. Get the free PDF. It costs you nothing. And then if you don't want to be bothered, you can unsubscribe and not be bothered with the after you launch. It's fine. I just trust that you'll try it. As someone who has read the whole thing, it's a well-written story about heart, family struggles, and relationships with a great reveal in issue 1. And keep in mind, it is an action comic book. It still has its fun, its action, but it's got characters that you are just going to absolutely give a shit about, that you're going to care about. It does. So I'm going to ask you to please sign up. See if anybody did. And if you don't, no hard feelings, but please do. I'm doing the best I can to uplift everyone else while trying to get my books out there too. I know your struggles. So if you could help out, I'd be grateful. And by the way, I always encourage anybody who has a Kickstarter, you want to drop your link in the chat, please do. Whether it's live or a sign up, go ahead and you can throw a little synopsis or whatever you want. Please do. All right. The last thing I'm going to let you know is currently, just stick with me a little longer, and I promise you I'll let you go if you wouldn't mind. I publish other people through crowdfunding, and they will move to distribution. And a Canadian creator, author, writer named, he goes by DM Ray on Facebook. Sorry, I'm putting this in. Contacted Philbo, and then I got to put in my. He lives in Canada, and his Dungeons and Dragons fantasy book series, it's a 3-issue series, is available right now on Kickstarter under my Philbo imprint. And I think he's got like 10 or so days. Why isn't it let me sign in? Oh, that's why. That's why. Always does that. Sorry. Anyway, I'm trying to. It's live right now. If you'd like to give it a try, it's the last issue of the 3-issue series. So it's the entire issue. It's the entire series. Why the hell is this not working? Oh, that's why. Because I'm cracked out of my head from not sleeping. I don't know why it's not working. I can't log in. God darn it. All right. Go to Kickstarter and type in MADCAPS 3. MADCAPS 3. Or if you could, Raf, please put the link in the chat and go pledge. It's a fun D&D fantasy story, but it's well written, and it's a different take on D&D. It's not your usual, save the princess and dragons. It's a lot of fun. It's about 4 guys coming together after a long time apart, friends of different races, solving an epidemic of a drug called weave that is causing basically people to be like the undead. It's a fun tale with some really cool characters. So go check it out. And great art by Victor Medina, who can do it all for you. Color, pencils, inks, great artist, fantastic artist. So check that out. And that's about it. That's my plug for my stuff. The POD, we're looking at a tentative launch of June 1st, which ironically, I wasn't even aware would be the 1-year anniversary of our launch of our first catalog. And I do want to let you know, we've had our share of naysayers and haters that said we wouldn't last 6 months, and we're about to hit a year. We've had people say that we're a joke or we're destructive or whatever. and we're getting stronger and better than ever. And those people have been pretty quiet. So my message to you is, if you have haters, that means you're doing something right, because nobody punches down. They don't want to punch down. They punch up. They punch up to what they think is a threat or a competition. So that means you're doing something right. But when they do punch, and they will punch, you don't shut them up by talking. You just fuel them by doing that. Shut them up with your work, with your deeds. Because when you succeed, that's how you beat them. And that's it. Just win. Just win. That's all you should do, is win. Anyway, so thank you, Raf, for dropping the MADCAPS 3 link in there. If there's any chance you could throw the Poppa link, that would be awesome. Well, Kenny, I'm not going to point you in their direction, but there's some pretty vile things that have gone on that I had to ignore. Attacks on my family, attacks, doxing my home, creating YouTube channels, writing blogs and articles. There's been a lot of really vicious attacks that they try to say are criticism, but they're not criticism, they're attacks. People that go into DMs privately telling publishers and retailers not to work with me. At shows, they approach them and tell them not to work with me. And they do all these things, and they just fuel me. They motivate me. They just motivate me. I don't get jealous of people's success. I'm happy for your success, and then I'm going to look and see, well, what am I doing wrong that they're doing right? I don't hate my haters. I wish them enlightenment and to be better people. But I will tell you, they think they're tearing me down, and all they do is light the fire. They are the spark that becomes the fire that just lights everything up. So the more they come at me, the more I'm excited to be more successful and show the world that they are wrong. I'm not even here to shove anything in their face. I just want the world to see that they're wrong and see them for what they are. I'll let you decide. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm just going to keep plugging away and doing the best I can. I'm a 53-year-old Irishman who had a rough life, and I'm not here to audition for anyone ever. Either my work and my stands on its own merit, and my resume will stand on its own, or it won't. Now, does that mean I'm not going to try to go to larger publishers and say, this is our resume? Of course I will. I have to pay my dues. I have to gain, trust in the industry. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not going to audition for you. This is what I offer. This is what I've done. This is what I can do. If you're interested, let's work together and make money together. I don't want to make money off you. I want to make it with you. If not, be well. God bless. Much success. You go that way. I'll go this way. That's my way of thinking in life. That's it. So anyway, I had a fantastic free comic book day. I made a lot of money. I got a lot of great feedback. A lot of new fans and supporters, and the store just treated me with so much respect, as they always do. And what I really appreciate about Fourth World and love is that they're investing in me right now when I have nothing to offer them. I'm not a big name, I sell some books, but I'm not putting them over the top. I'm not Scott Snyder. I'm not, Chris Claremont. And they treat me with the same respect that they would treat those people. They invest in me in the same way. And the people that invest in you when you have nothing to offer them, that should be your circle. And you should want to reciprocate and give them back. And I absolutely do. Because they ask me for nothing, Fourth World. Terrence, Zach, Tommy, Chris, that entire crew there, wonderful people that I would break bread with any one of them any day of the week. They're good people, and Fourth World is very supportive. They're not petty. They don't get into the industry pettiness. they're just down to earth, laid back, good people that want to enjoy comics, sell comics, and be part of the community. And they are exactly what we should all be. So if you're ever in the Long Island area, go check out Fourth World Comics. There is no comic store that I have been to that has been more supportive of what I'm doing than them in this whole entire region. And I appreciate them. And if I ever do make it big someday, man, I promise to give it back. I will pay it forward. And if not, I'll just keep trying. Anyway, to everybody who came out yesterday and the love you've given me, the support, the praise, the kind words, or even just to hear me spout about my books. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. To all the people I was with, Niall O'Rourke was there yesterday. He has books through Keen Spot. He has a great Squish and Squash children's story that I think is going to be an animated series soon. He has a horror story that is really good, The Crying Boy. And he's coming out with a great, really cool kaiju-looking book. Something Must Be Destroyed. Omni Must Be Destroyed. Go check it out. Niall is a great guy who really supports everybody in the industry, fellow Irishman, and he's a true Irishman, brogue and all. Go check out Niall O'Rourke, Niall O'Rourke. Dennis Knight, who wrote Cross, and he wrote for Dren Productions. God, I'm so sorry. I'm losing it. Plan 79 in Outer Space. So check him out. They distribute through us. Great writer, great guy. He's also working with Kevin Davis, who has his magazine out, Kevacy Productions, I believe it is. Go check them out. Both great guys. Great guys. We had Billy Tucci there, of course, the teen sensation. We had J.C. Vaughn, another great guy who is the editor-in-chief at Gemstone Publishing, who does the Overstreet Price Guide. Great people in the industry. And of course, we had Nelson Asensio, who was an awesome artist who did a lot of design work for a lot of the diamond statues that you may have on your shelves. He's a great guy. He was there with his brother, Chris. And it was just a great community day. And sometimes you get wrapped up in the business so much and can get very cutthroat that you forget what this is really about. It's about heroes. It's about good stuff. It's about escapism. It's about a community. It's about all the good things that people have to offer. And that's why shows, conventions, and like store signings and these things are wonderful, because there's no fighting. There's no left or right or, this ideology or that ideology. It's just, we love comics. And the most it gets is like that old Little Rascals skit, right? Flash Gordon, Tarzan, Flash Gordon, Tarzan. And that should be the most of our confrontations, right? Because at the end of the day, we all just want to feel relevant. We just want to know that when we wake up every day, there's a reason. And we want to be happy waking up every day. And we just want to know that this life meant something. All of us. None of us want to be alone. None of us want to feel defeated. None of us want to feel powerless. We may all handle it differently. Sometimes we handle it wrong. But at the end of the day, we're all more alike than we want to talk about. And comics is that one industry that I think reminds us of how much more alike we can be. So stop fighting over ideologies and celebrities and political figures, because we're really all just trying to get through this life. And there's no guidebook. But a good book is a comic book. All right. I'm out. Thanks for asking your questions and making this worthwhile. I appreciate all of you. Have a happy Sunday. I hope this week coming brings you all joy and happiness and success in however you deem it. And when you feel powerless, I pray that something lands in your lap to give you strength, to make you feel powerful. And when you are powerful, stay humble and reach back and give somebody a hand up. You'd be surprised. It's good karma, but at the same time, don't do it for karma. Do it because it's just the right thing to do, and you would want it to be done for you. Pay it forward. We can all do this together. Do it. I will be at New York Comic Con at the Hot Flips booth up on the main floor. Charles, who owns Hot Flips, is another amazing human being, and he has his monthly show. The Hot Flips show will be at a new venue. I think it's Massapequa, Long Island, in June. I think it's June 4th. I will be there, but he is another awesome dude. He lets me come sit at his booth. So, Brian, I hope you do. Please come say hi. I don't give a damn if you buy anything. Just come say hi, shake my hand, and let's talk comics and good stuff. I hope to meet you there. Absolutely. And if you're going to be vending there, please tell us, let us know where and when, and I'll be happy to support it. All right, guys. I'm going to leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.